Good morning. Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. Sue, I need you to ask to join the classes. I'm having a really hard time inviting people. I don't know why. Facebook is just being a little finicky. So if you would ask to join the class that you've signed up for, the classes, I should say, I will let you in immediately. I am so sorry. I've tried all my tricks and nothing's working. So I hope that that's cool with you. Good morning, Laura. How are you today? Oh, I'm kind of all over the board today. I have all kinds of fun for us to play with. I have, what do you mean it's not on my class list? It's not on my class list. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Nancy. So you just need to, Sue, you just need to go to the gray search Facebook subject line. Type in the name of the class. Remember to put the month at the end. So type in the name of the class, and then the private group will come up, and then click on join, and then I'll let you right in. Hi, Lucy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we gather here every Tuesday and Thursday, and we get artsy with my art printables. So if you would like it, Linda Koeman, how are you? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever and a day. So welcome, Carol. If you're brand new here, if you would follow and like and Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, we would greatly appreciate that. And then make sure that you ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. That's where we have so many people. We just have the best creative community. Am I right, girls? Everyone is so encouraging and so kind, and it's a safe place to share your creations and just have yourselves a time. So today, I wanted to talk about the trying stuff you and I can work in conjunction with each other. Hi, Ellen. Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I thought we would play with neons, because that's summery and that's fun, and I have all this neon stuff that it's like we've been talking about. I need to play with it some more. So I have my Timi art printable, and I have a couple of neon mediums. So I have some neon paints, watercolors, handmade watercolors that I got from Hydra Colors. If you know Hydra Colors, you know her stuff is beautiful. I've already wet it a little bit, but I'm going to wet it one more time. So my idea is, I also have my Karin Markers, or Karin, or however they say, in neon colors, which I thought these are so fun to play with. And I have the neon pens I just got the other day. Remember, we were talking about these. I just got them. I haven't even clicked to them at all. So the beauty of the Timi art printable, and I feel like I might be doing some more of this, a little bit more, doing a whole sheet, because when you do a whole sheet, then you can cut this in 4. That's what I did. And create four card fronts. Oh, look, I die cut this morning, and a little piece of my washi tape is on there. So I die cut 4 sections, and I have 4 cards ready to go. Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds cool, Jan. Cosmic Shimmer. Interesting. Hi, Darlene. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I thought that I could do 4 different sections, right? So I'm going to, because for this one, excuse me, I painted all one big sheet. I painted the whole thing. But now for this one, I think I'm going to cut it apart and paint different sections. So I'm going to cut in 4. I mean, they don't have to be perfect because I'm going to die cut them anyway. So I just want 4 sections. Oh, you know what? Dang it. I was thinking about doing 1 slim line. Because if I do 1 slim line, I'll have to do it another time, I think. Anyway, I thought that would be cool because then you'd have this extra little piece that you could do some like piecing. Do you know what I mean? So when I think about it, I'm thinking about this like a piece of handmade pattern paper. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start painting with my watercolors. Everybody make sure you have a nice cool drink. And let's make sure we drink throughout our hour of paintiness. So for this one, I think I'm going to start with my neon watercolors. And I'm just going to fess up that I have not painted with these much. And so here's the thing that I've learned about handmade watercolors. You need to activate them with some drops of water. And then just really kind of work it a little bit on the top before you start to add water or put it to paper. It's pretty bright. Another thing I will say is that I kind of love handmade watercolors. Number one, you're getting something that's super unique and you're supporting a small business, and they're really quite unusual. So most of the time, get some water down here. Most of the time when you think about neons, you think about the big 80s, but I also think about the 70s and the 60s. So, you know, I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to that. So I have some nice, I have this nice orange. I think I'm going to do this because this just really kind of was kind of flower powery to me, these daisies. I mean, when I drew them, I certainly wasn't thinking about neons, but you know, I feel like that's the beauty, is that you can make it whatever you want, you know? So I'm feeling like I want to do this orange for the petals, and then I think I want to do that deeper orange for the center. That'll be pretty. How are you, Carol? Good, I hope. I hope everyone's doing well. Seems there was something else I wanted to talk to you about from CBS Sunday Morning, and then now I've forgotten it. We talked about the horse sanctuary, which I thought was super cool. It was another kind of interesting human interest story. Those are my favorite. They are, they are. Okay. I'm kind of digging them too, Nance. Like, it's kind of way out of my wheelhouse, but it's nice to just challenge yourself a little bit sometimes, isn't it? So I think I'm going to use this deeper orange as my center. Stop it! Look how pretty that is. I'm really liking that. I have another one here. So I thought that I could, I really want to kind of make sure I try and get all of the colors represented here in this little panel. Because why wouldn't you want all the colors, right? But I was kind of heavy-handed on my application of paint here, so I'm going to continue to use this paint to pull paint from this flower and paint the other flowers with that same color. Because I want some room for fiddling around if I feel like it, you know? This is really, it's really turning out cool. I think with neons, I'm feeling like it really needs that, you know, we've talked before about how most good art needs a little bit of black and a little bit of white. And I feel like this stuff really does. Like it's really, because it's so bright, I feel like it really needs the black and white. Like it's really responding well to the black outlines and the white background. So let's see. What other colors do we have? We have, so I've used that, and the pink. So let's try this kind of a fuchsia color here. Let's do this flower with that fuchsia. Look how pretty that is. I feel like my vision is I want it to look like a bouquet, but a neon bouquet. Do you know what I mean? A bouquet is going to be kind of a conglomerate of all kinds of flowers, all kinds of colors. I mean, it can be monochromatic if you want, but in my world, my little, my neon paints, Keely, are from a company called Hydra Color. And she only offers the, you know, here's the thing with handmade watercolors, you can only get them, everything is pretty limited because they make them in small batches. So you kind of have to stock them, which is kind of fun. I've also gotten some other paints from Hydra Color. I've gotten some shimmery paints from her and some glittery paints, which are not really my jam, but you know, I'm always trying to push myself a little bit, try something new, try something different. So I really want to, so I think I'm gonna make this flower. Oh, I haven't done anything blue, but it's really, so I'm feeling like I want to do these purples. Let's do the ones I know for sure in my head. I'm feeling like, where was I going? Oh, Hydra Colors. So her stuff is, I like to push myself to see, you know, try new things and new mediums and learn from that. And I have found that I need to like not just pull it out and do one thing with them. I need to pull them out and then do like 10 things. We talked about this the other day. Paint with them 10 times. Then that is in my head. You know what I mean? try 10 different whatevers. And by cutting these apart, it's like 4 little canvases. I kind of dig that. So I'm going to show you what I did, or what I kind of have in mind with the Timi sections that I did the other day, where I did 1 whole sheet. But I really want to show you, but I have some other ideas of ways, if you start thinking about it like I said, like handmade watercolor or handmade pattern paper, right? So think about and treat it like pattern paper, how you view it, how you what you would do. So for the 4 sections that I've done already, I just die cut them in a rectangular shape, right? But for the neons, I'm feeling like, wouldn't it be cool to die cut a shape out of the center? Then that would give me 5 cards, right? You could cut it apart. You could, I mean, there's so many cool things that you can do. So I just, it's a fun challenge, I think. Something different. Makes your brain think differently. And then once your brain thinks differently on that, then that's just going to open up your creative mind into all kinds of other possibilities, I think. All right, now let's clean our brush. Okay, I wrote down the other thing I wanted to talk about. Just a sec. Oh, I know. Okay. So, did anybody watch CBS Sunday Morning this week? They talked about this town in Virginia that during the pandemic started a sign war. And it was all in good fun. It wasn't really a war. But they would write clever messages to each other. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. And so once the word got out, kind of like everything, you know, once the word got out about the sign war in, what's the name of the town? Christiansburg, Virginia. It went everywhere. It went as far as Ontario. It went all kinds of different states were doing the sign war. It was so, I'm telling you, and I think it's still going on, which I think is such a cool way for people to pass the time and build community. And you know, I just thought it was clever and funny, and just a cool community building activity that just kind of started out innocently. And then, like, it started out just between 2 stores, a music store and Dairy Queen, I think. And then it just spread throughout the whole town. It was, oh my gosh, so cool. I just love it. Look at how pretty that green and pink is together. I really like those 2 together. So did anybody happen to see the thanks, Keel, for putting the link to Hydrocolors. I think her name is Elena, and she is just lovely. I think it's Elena. I shouldn't have said that out loud because now watch that be wrong. But she's so cool, and her colors are so vibrant and just lovely. And here's the cool thing: when you'll find when you buy handmade watercolors, and they oftentimes they need to use a particular binder, and the other hydrocolors, now these I don't know, they do. All of hydrocolors colors, all of the, so here's my big hydrocolors. Look how embarrassing this is. I have so many colors in here, but they're so cool. Look at them. You want to hear the coolest thing? They smell like clove. They smell so nice. They're so fun. So I think she releases, she used to at least, she would release every Friday. And so every Friday there's just a few colors. Oh, seriously, Jan, I got this on Amazon. I should have got a bigger one, obviously, right? So her colors release every Friday in her Etsy shop, and you got to get on there quickety quick. But oh my gosh, they're so dreamy, aren't they? Super cool. Okay, so let's see. We have these 3 daisies left that I don't know what color I want to do. I'm feeling like I really want to use that blue, but I'm feeling like I want... her stuff is so beautiful. Her stuff is so beautiful. And like I said, she's just lovely. I think I want to do this, the dots blue in the background. This is always such a great way to start the day. I know, isn't that funny? They do, I will say, hydrocolors, when they come, they, she fills her pans. Like, I think I've kind of watched some of those videos. I'm sure, has everyone watched videos of people making stuff? I could just watch those forever and a day. I used to love watching Mr. Rogers because he always had videos of how things were made. Like, he had, like, how crayons were made, how toothbrushes were made. I love watching food, how food stuff, you know, how it's packaged, all of that automated stuff. I could watch that stuff forever. So remember that show, well, there's one called How It's Made. And what was the food one? I can hear the music. And Mark Summers is the one who hosted it. Anyway, I love all of those. I love all those videos. But, where was I going? Oh, so when they fill their pans, they fill them to a certain amount and they let that cure, and then they fill it again and they let that cure, and then they do it again and they let that cure. So it's a kind of a long drawn out process, but most of the, let's see if any of these are newish so you can see. Hydrocolor for sure. When you get hers, do you see, do you see how it's domed? So look at, you get this much more paint. And like I told you, it smells like cloves. How can you beat that? I'm telling you. And they all come with like a little magnet on the bottom, so it just clicks in the bottom of your, case. Her stuff is so cool. So let's see. let's do, so we, over here, we could do another flower that's like the orange one that we did, because that's touching there. I wouldn't do it. I don't need another something. I'll just support other people who do it. I think that the cool thing about handmade watercolors is that you're getting unusual colors. Do you know what I mean? They're and I've bought them from quite a few makers. There's a girl in the Netherlands that does some really cool watercolors, and I don't know how to pronounce her first name, but when you get her watercolors, it's like an event. It's so beautiful. It comes packaged really cool. She handwrites your name. She handwrites the tags that she label, like she does your name on a tag. She does little dot cards. Sometimes you can buy dot cards, and it has her beautiful handwriting. But her name is like M-A-R-T, M-A-R-T-H-E or something like that. I'll see if I can find something. There's another girl that does, and all of these people are on Instagram. I don't know about Facebook, but I know they're on Instagram. There's another girl who does some cool handmade watercolors, and her name is Artistic Isle. I-S-L-E. I-S-L-E, yeah. Let's see. So this is another set. Okay, these are all from, I promise I'll put her name. So look at, do you see her beautiful handwriting? M-Y-R-T-H-E, Handmade Waters by, I don't know. It looks like Mirth, but it's not Mirth. M-Y-R-T-H-E. But do you see how she labels everything? Like, look at her beautiful handwriting. Look at this. Here's a little sample. Here's another little sample. How cool is that? So it comes and it's just this beautiful. So there's my paints from her. And this one, that's nothing. Sorry. I bought some others from a girl, and I'm trying to think of her. It's like Rachel Bath, I think. And they're really pretty too. Let's see. So now I need to do the centers of my flowers. And then I think I need to set this aside to dry. And then figure out whatever I'm going to do next. But stop! Look at how pretty it is. Oh, thank you, Keely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I did a couple things that I want to share with you. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. And then I'm going to... okay, so here is the slimline from the Charmaine art printable that we made the other day. And here I want to talk, remember we did it in kind of 70s colors, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. So, so I went back and blended my colors, and then I came in with my paintbrush and I did some dots. Do you see? Like, so I did some stippling, but with my paintbrush. Can you see? So I did the same colors, right, throughout the entire piece, right? The coordinating colors. which I thought just added a little bit of dimension. And then, as if there wasn't enough, then I came back and I did dots of color in the white space, but just like a dot of color. And then I let that dry completely. And then I came in with my skinny pen and I just drew loose circles around each blob of paint. And I just love it. I just felt like it really finished everything off. So I'm going to grab some adhesive. Because I did this on the A2 also, so I wanted to share that. So I did, and then I die cut this. Once it was all dry, I die cut it with Gina Marie's stitched rectangle slimline dies. I think they do too, Sue. I felt like they, like I just needed something, you know, but I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. So now, let's come in. And I thought about doing, a mat on this, but I don't have much room, so I just left it as is. I don't know. Maybe I'll trim it so that there's not an edge anywhere. But then I also have a sentiment which I thought would be super cool. Or here, I really like you. But I feel like that could be, but I really think that with the black matte on the sentiment, it's really gonna show. It'll really pop. And I feel like they'll all kind of work together. But I feel like this mat is way too big. So I'm going to trim it down. Then just carefully trim off the excess there. Okay, so I feel like I kind of want it to be here, and then I want to put something right there. That's kind of a little bit of my go-to. I don't feel like this needs, nope, I think down here is better. I don't feel like this needs any other, like it doesn't need any other doodads. I feel like that would be, it's because there's already so much going on in the painting that I really want to, let's go up a little bit. Yep, there we go. I feel like that is perfect just the way it is. Let me know your thoughts. Remember that I did lots of painterly effects on this. I remember this one, I did for this flower, I did where I painted and then I did the water splotch, so I got lots of visual interest on that. And you'll see this for the A2, I did the exact same thing. I did the dots of color, and then I came back and I did like a scribbly circle around each dot of paint. So make sure that it's really loose, that it's, you know, that it's really organic. You don't want to make it too perfect, or, you know, you just want it fun. So for this one, I thought I would adhere it onto a black mat. So I just went up one size in my stitched rectangle from My Favorite Things. I'm telling you, that's one of my dies that I use like a lot. It's just stitched rectangles. Hi, Lolo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I did order some new dies from Gina Marie, so I'm waiting patiently for those to come. I can hardly wait. So, and I've also started to do top fold cards a little bit more. It's just something a little bit different. So I'm going to adhere that on there for this beautiful top fold card. I'm always looking for little ways to have a little bit more visual interest. You know what I mean? Like a little, I don't know. Those little touches. I feel like in all things, the little touches are what's going to set you apart. In your art journaling, in your card making, all those things. So I'm going to line that up. There we go. Right? So it could still be a side open card. It would just be long, which is kind of cool. Or a top fold, which I like too. And then, okay, so I have Shine On, and I have I Love You Completely and Forever. I think because this is a long, skinny card, I don't know. Kind of like that. I think I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to adhere the sentiment to the mat and then trim it down. And then we'll do some more painting, right? Trim that down just a little bit. And this one, I want to come in a little bit because I want to have that stitched edge show right there on the white, just because I really like that stitched edge. Hi, Aunt Mer. I love it too, Aunt Mer. It's all kind of 70s colors, isn't it? Which is kind of my jam. All right. So I'm going to leave set those two aside, and then pull another one of these panels over. So we have this neon that we did, which I think is pretty cool. And now let's do this neon, but let's do it with the Karin markers. So if you happen to have the Karin markers, you know that they are really juicy, and they are also water-based. So you can move that color with water. So I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to try it with my water brush. I haven't tried Karin's with my water brush, so this is what I do. I just apply a little bit of color, and then I just pull that color down. Oh, Carm, that worked really well. So I'm just going to, so by using your markers this way, your Karin markers, or you could do the same thing with Tombows or whatever you have. Your marker is going to last forever because you're just using a bit of the color. Do you see what I'm saying? And just pull that color down to the end of the petals. And then you can build color, just like with any watercolor. You can continue to build and build and build. I just love that idea of building color. I mean, and this one I feel like is going to have a different vibe than the other neon, because this is pretty opaque, and this is still quite transparent, and I kind of dig that. So let's do some leaves. And like always, I just wipe off one color from the end of my brush onto my paint cloth. Before I go to the next color. And that's pretty easy peasy. So I am loving these with my water brush. That's a fun new discovery. Don't you think we should all be looking for those new discoveries? I was listening to this podcast once that said that you should always, as Carmen calls it, you should always continue to take classes. Carmen calls it continuing education. And it's true. You should always continue to take classes. And the advice from that podcast was, you should always continue to take classes and continue to learn things, because you always want to remember what it's like to be a beginner. So if you are a teacher, especially, it's good for you to remember what it's like to be a beginner, to be somebody who, whatever the process is, it's brand new. Right? So you always want to, when you're thinking about sharing some kind of information with somebody, how would you do that if you didn't know anything? Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth, Nancy? Like I just find myself a lifelong learner. Okay, so I think is that all of my leaves? I think so. So I've used those two colors so far. Now I have this pretty orange. Absolutely. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Even if it's not your style, even if it's, you're going to learn something from that person. You're going to learn something from everybody. If they're I mean, maybe their painting style isn't your style, but by taking a class from them, you're going to learn new color combinations or a new palette or just a new, what do I want to say? Some new brush skills or, and all of that stuff that you learn will just continue to grow in your artsy arsenal in your noggin. You know what I mean? And you'll continue to use all of those things in all of your art, whether it's quilting or card making or portrait painting or whatever it is. Even planting flowers, that stuff is part of you. Once you've mastered it, like I said, do it 10 times. Once you've kind of mastered it, you're going to really I think I want to do a purple rose. It'll just become part of you. You will like I said, it will you'll recall it when you least expect it, which is a good thing, right? Oh, I can really smell those I can smell the cloves on those paints. So I know this looks really transparent now, but as we go along, it will continue to, we'll be able to build some depth by layering color. And I think the fun of like neons makes you like totally think out of your comfort zone. It makes you totally say, I could paint these flowers whatever color I want. They don't have to be realistic at all. Number one, because they're neon. Number two, because you're painting it, you can make it whatever you want. So as you'll notice, I'm just pulling some color off the end of my Karin marker. And that is just another technique. We've done this with watercolor colored pencils, with scribble sticks, with all kinds of water-based mediums that come kind of in this form, right? We've done this pull color. But just note, you can do it, like scribble it on your craft mat and make it into a watercolor also. You can do, remember, all these water-based products can be used in like a million different ways. And I love that. Like I always feel like that's, I love it when it's, when I have like so many options, you know? This is really coming together. It's kind of interesting how, like, little by little, you start to see it pull together. Like, I'm kind of liking that it's super neon, but it's also, I mean, they're neon colors, obviously, but it's kind of pastel-y, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? Almost there. So is the so how do you feel about the Timi? Is it overwhelming, like it's too much to paint all at once, or do you feel like it is you like it as an option? Because I'm feeling like I might want to do some more that are a whole sheet of art. But I have some ideas for some smaller pieces too. Like a whole sheet of a bunch of different small pieces. I thought that might be fun too. Almost there. There we go. Okay. So all of these, I feel like I want to build those colors. It does give a kind of a airy feel, doesn't it? I know, it's kind of crazy. Everybody take a drink. Okay, let's see. That's what I was thinking, Keely. And even if you do 2 slimlines, you're going to have a little bit of art left that you could use for something else. The Charmaine is fantabulous. Do you want to see what I made with it, Miss Charmaine? So there's the Charmaine that this was its namesake. So these are the 2 that I created with the Charmaine. I did kind of a 70s palette on these 2. And then, so we're just showing some options. And here's the independent piece. I know, can I tell you, I'm pretty proud of these. I love them. And then I painted the Timi. I painted it as one big sheet and then cut it apart. And then, and die cut each piece. And then, now I'm doing the Timi. I cut it apart into 4 sections, and I'm doing neons. So here's the first one that I did with neon handmade watercolors, and now I'm doing neon Karin Markers. I presume that you bought them. I told you, yes, you needed them. I hope that you did because they're just amazing. Okay, so I could do my... Hi, Gail. Oh, I was wondering if that was the case. I was wondering if it was intimidating as a whole sheet. So the first one I cut apart, or I painted the whole sheet and then I cut it apart. The second one, I cut it apart, and I mean, they couldn't be more different, could they? They're, so I cut it apart and then started painting. So then I could do 4 different, well, I'm doing 4 different, what do I want to say? Just 4 different applications of color in different ways, right? But I feel like, hi Carol, welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel like it gives you kind of some other options. And the thing that I was talking about earlier, Gail, was that I'm treating this, like when it's the whole sheet, like it is handmade pattern paper. So I want to treat it like I would treat pattern paper. So what I was thinking was some of these I'm going to just adhere it to my die cut base and adhere like a clean and simple adhere a sentiment. But I was also thinking, wouldn't it be cool to like die cut a piece out of the center, like a circle or a square, and then I could add more layers, certainly, and then with those pieces that I don't use here, I could make another whole card. So then I could have 5 or more cards out of one sheet, right? Because we could cut it in strips with black behind it. We could cut it in strips this way. We could do all kinds of things. Yeah, so like, Jan, are you talking about like we did the, like we did when we painted the background, ran it through the printer, painted the background, ran it through the printer, and then enhanced the artwork in that way. Let's do that on Thursday. Let's do that. No, today is Thursday. God. Let's do that next week. We'll paint our background and then run it through with an all over color. See what we do, see what kind of where we can play with that. So I did, that's funny that you should mention that, Miss Charmaine. I have just sent them a little something, something similar. And I have been working on a tall cake too. So let's do some yellow here with the Karin Markers, or Karin, however, not exactly sure. Seems somebody told me once how it was pronounced, and I don't know. These neon colors are so crazy because I'm expecting it to be like yellow, and it's not yellow. It is neon canary, but I'm just going to tell you, it is not. It's so different. It is so different. Let's see. What is this one? Neon yellow. So let's try that one down here. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's crazy. It's crazy how different this is. I will just tell you, these Karin Markers are so juicy. And my friend Audrey at Paper and I in Marshall, Michigan, she's number 1, she's a super quick shipper. Number 2, she has all of the Karin Markers open stock. So you can either buy like the whole set from her, or you can buy them open stock, which is fabulous. So let's see, I think I want to do blue centers to my yellowish flowers. So I'm going to pull that. There we go. That's pretty. Let's do this one. All right. Looks like I forgot something down here, so maybe I'll do that one pink. I don't know. And then I have all the dots to do, which I don't know exactly what I want to do with those, but I feel like I'm feeling like I want to start to build up right here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of, what is this? Neon red lilac. And I'm just going to start building that way. And right here. Wipe off the excess and then just come back in, soften that edge. So even though it's pastel and transparent, you can certainly still do lots of work creating depth, right? So you can spread it out a little bit and then just soften that edge with that jiggy jaggy blend. Kind of pull that color out. So pretty. Yeah, when I was drawing it, I was kind of thinking that I wanted each one to be a little bit different. But you could certainly make, like I said, like a set of cards that are similar, right? Because I did them all in the same color scheme. I think because this one I did all at once. I painted the whole sheet and I used one set of one medium for the whole thing. I think that certainly, remember this was just watercolors, straight watercolors. But then this one, I came back in with my Poscas and really started to build up some visual interest. I'm kind of loving that. But I felt like I don't have to do that on all of them. I can just do it on one of them. I could do, you know, I could do whatever I want. I'm going to do me. So let's see, what color shall we do? The polka dots. Oh, and I need to do this flower down here. I think I'm going to do it in that same neon purple. Excuse me, neon red violet or lilac. I'm kind of digging that. Let's see. So this one, we can really build that. I like to pull it down the sides. Then I'm going to get some nice shape to my petals. And I do it with whatever medium I'm doing. I like to pull the color down the sides, because then that's going to make the petal look like it has a high point, the center, and then that there's a slight curve with the oops. There's a slight curve on the shape of the petal, like it's not like a flat petal, like it's curved, and that's what we're kind of going for. So the center of this, let's make that, well, let's make it orange. That might be kind of fun. My mom had these enamel pins, and I'm going to check when I go back there this time. My mom had these enamel daisy pins that, oh my gosh, I was just in love with. And they were big, like a brooch, and they were metal and covered in bright colors. Oh my gosh, I love those. Aunt Mara, I think you shared one. I think you sent me a picture of one that you have. I love those. I love them, love them, love them. So I'm going to be digging through my mom's jewelry box when I go home in June. I can hardly wait. So I still need to kind of think about what I want to do these polka dots in. I feel like I want them to be, let's just do pink. That might be kind of fun. Do you know what I mean? So we can move that around a little bit and pull some of that, pull some of that. Yep. And here's the cool thing. You can certainly mix as you're going along, right? We can, like we did the other day, remember how we mixed right on the substrate? We can certainly do that. We can pull the color, we can add another color, a complementary color. Do you see how these are going to last forever? Because you just use, I don't know that I've ever used colored with my Karin markers, like straight colored with the marker. I've always used them kind of as a watercolor. The only time I've used it all the way is with, if I'm hand lettering. Do you know what I mean? So I'm feeling like, because this this yellow is kind of has a green kind of tinge, let's try adding a little bit of green right here and then pulling that out, see what happens. It's subtle and beautiful. I love it. Like it's already building this subtle, like it's going to take a couple of goes with this, but remember, we're not hurrying, we're just taking our time, stretching our creative muscle. Oh my gosh, I'm loving that so much. Like that added of that green is really adding some nice depth. Like I really want my center to kind of recede, and so I'm making it dark, and then I'll come back and do the sides of my petals. But I also want to start to build my leaves, so I'm going to pull some more of that. Pull that green down one side. Remember, back, forth, back, forth. Pull that color. Turn your card so your hand is comfortable. Back, forth, right? Pull that green, and then right here, back, forth, because that, remember this leaf is on top of this leaf, so this is going to be darker right there. So let's work that a little bit more. Yep. It's looking like I want it to look. Now let's do this one. Back, forth, and then let's pull that green out. If you have too much color, remember, just wipe it off on your cloth or your paper towel, whatever you're using. These are so juicy, I'm telling you. They're so juicy, it's crazy. All right, let's see. Let's pull that. There we go. Lovely. You guys, I'm loving it. It's looking so painterly. and soft, even though it's neons. Get out. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? That's crazy as can be. There you go. I'll build up those oranges. Oh, you guys, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, loving it. Look, it's just, it's just a happy surprise, you know? Who'd have thought that neons could look so soft? You know, you always think of them as kind of not harsh, that's not the word I'm thinking, but bold. And this is bold, but in a really subtle way. I'm kind of digging it. So I will take pictures of all of my Charmaine cards today, and I will post them, and I will work on getting my Timi stuff up. I just, I have a big assignment that I'm working on right now, so I really need to finish that up, and then I can play. This is my only time I get to really like just paint and play, unless it's like prep for a class. But this is my free creating time, and I just love it. Like, this feels like it's gonna take a little more building, but and can I tell you, I'm so happy I picked blue for the center of those yellowy flowers. I'm loving it. I'm gonna put a little more here because I really want it to start to have some depth. Well, we're over again, like always. I am so grateful that you just come and just join me and we just create together. Thank you so much. This weekend is our artsy weekend of the month. That means let's get artsy with our Bible on Saturday, and then art journaling on Sunday. So I have all kinds of them. Seriously, I have a whole giant bin of them, Sue. But this one is a set of Vicky Bouton water brushes, and that was the buy of the century, because she had I think 6 brushes, and they were under $20 for 6 brushes, which was screaming. I heard that they're a little hard to find, so you might search for them. But I also I really like the Ranger ones. I really like the Prima one. You know what? I just like something that has a pretty fine tip. Like, this is big for me. I like a kind of a pointier, finer tip. And I like these because you can squeeze the amount of water that you want down. I typically just wet the end of my brush, and then that's it. Like, I don't squish more water out as much. But I just saw that Derwent has one, and I'm going to search for that and give that a try, because I think I will be curious to see what they, how they've perfected the water brush. Just, you know what? And there's all kind, like this one is super cheap, and you know it came from China because the threads screw the opposite direction. Do you know what I mean? So just know that there's all kinds out there. Just get one and play with it, and then try some more. There's some that are, I'm trying to think, there's some that are yellow and some that are green, and now I don't remember who makes them. But I will do some research, and we'll talk about it next week. Just remind me, I might forget. So I will see a bunch of you this weekend during our artsy weekend, And if not, I'll see you on Tuesday when we will play with the Charmaine and the Timi all over again. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Bye.